Hello, and welcome to Henry Clark's channel. This is Henry Clark's channel. I talk a lot about band-in-the-box techniques, right? But I also have production tips, and I talk about some production tips. So today, I want to talk about what is called the 10-second rule. Again, 10-second rule, right? And it's been employed for a long time. So here's the deal. You made your song, and this is for amateurs and independent musicians. I'm an independent musician, obviously I'm not a superstar, right? But there are still techniques that I try to learn and adopt those techniques from industry standards, right? So there is basically, it's kind of an unwritten rule, and this is for singles a lot of times. This is for singles, right? And what it is you made this great song, at least you think it's great, and no one's listening to it. You can't get anybody to click on it, right? And remember, when you do Spotify or Amazon or you not YouTube, but Amazon or iTunes, right? You don't get credit for a play unless it's been played like 30 seconds, right? If it's just people just skip, you don't get credit for that play. And a lot of times I notice that with the independents and the amateur musicians, right, it's a single thing that I think could make a huge difference in people listening to your song. And again, and as an example, I'm gonna give you an example, right? I can't play the song because I keep getting these copyright violations when I play it, right? But there was a Temptation song, right? I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go, right? That was one. And another one was Aretha Franklin, right? Was looking out on the morning rain. Hoodoo, I feel so inspired, right? That was another song, and then you had this song, a club song, right? Are you drunk enough? And you what you doing? And that was like a Sam Smith type, Chris Harris thing, or not Chris Harris, but Harris thing, right? And those were top songs, right? So those songs had something in common. And I noticed that a lot of independents and amateur musicians, they don't employ this technique, right? And what it is that, I'm gonna go back for a second. When Berry Gordy started Motown and through their heyday, their glory years, he had a rule. And his rule was, if you cannot capture the listener in 8 bars or 10 seconds, he told this to his artists, his writers, and producers. If you cannot catch the audience in 8 bars or 10 seconds, go back and rework the song because we are not going to release it. And these guys would come in, they'd have fantastic arrangements of an intro, right? And Berry would go, nope, no, that's not gonna go. And I get it, because when people don't know you, now if you're a seasoned professional and you have a name, then you can have your intro almost as long as you want and people are gonna listen to it. But when you're new or unknown, we have to grab an opportunity to catch a listener. I'm going to call it an opportunity. And we have to catch that listener in 8 bars or 10 seconds, or they're not going to play our song. They're just going to skip it over and they're not going to come back to it. And again, those examples I just gave you, give an example, because those songs I just gave you that I just awkwardly sang, all of those songs they started that song within the first 4 bars. They had started that song, right? And these were huge, huge hits for these people. And as you listen to a lot of the top songs on the charts, that's what happened. If it's an unknown artist, and a lot of the seasoned artists, they start the song right away. So again, what I would think you should do is, I think that all of us, myself included, because I have to work on this, right, can employ the 10-second rule or the 8-bar rule that says that I've got to have something that's going to catch that listener within the first 8 bars or the first 10 seconds. And if I'm just strumming chords or playing chords on a piano or whatever, right, that's not going to catch the listener. That's boring. You need something extra in there, whether it be a guitar riff or a horn, or a vocal ad lib or something. Just something to catch that listener's ear that says, you know what, I think I want to hear more of this guy, right? I did a song this month that I released, and it was called Do You Still Think About Me? And the song started with a saxophone solo, right? Right off the bat, saxophone solo. And this song is doing quite well on Pandora and Spotify and stuff. And it's because of that horn solo the sax solo started the song. It made people listen. It gave me an opportunity for them to listen to my song to decide whether they wanted to hear more or not, right? They hear that sax solo, it catches them, right? And they go, don't want to hear more of this guy. Is it worth it, right? Or am I just going to skip it right now? It's hard to skip that song when you hear that sax solo. You may skip it later, but it's hard to skip it right off the bat. So again, all of us struggle with this when we're doing songs. I know I have some intros that are way too long. I'm taking a break from a lot of production work, right? But I was working on a song. I'm trying to clean up some of my old songs, right? And I had this song, and the intro was like, I had these nice horns and strings and all kind of stuff, And I stopped and I went, nobody's gonna listen to this thing. It's way too long. They don't know who I am. They're not gonna listen to it, right? So I went and I cut it. And I seriously cut the intro on this thing. I'm gonna play it for you, just play a little bit of it for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And the song is called something about It Ought to Be a Crime, which is a cool title, right? So I got this song, It Ought to Be a Crime, and it starts like this.
Wait a minute, look at what you've done to me. Got me shaking, I one is probably gonna be. I thought that I had found me an angel.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. But you get my point. And I played this for some friends of mine who I trust their judgment. And I said, what about now? And they went, wow. Wait a minute, you started the song with wait a minute, right? That's gonna catch people right off the bat. And again, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for an opportunity to get someone's enough of an interest, not to skip my song, but to listen to more of it. And again, if they like it or if they don't, that's fine. I can appreciate that, right? But I gotta stop them from scrolling, especially in today's climate, because in today's climate, everybody's on a cell phone and they just don't take the time to listen to anything, right? If you don't catch them right away, man, they are gone. And that's not new, because Top 40 Radio was also based on that principle of no long intros. And again, when I hear a song that is in that that's another thing. When I hear a song that's in that 4 and 5 minute range, it's probably not going to go far because it's hard. I know all of us are so fickle today. It is hard to keep our attention for that long, right? So that's why I try to do my songs in like the 3:30 range. Sometimes I may stretch out to 4 minutes, but that's probably about it. I feel like maybe I can hold a listener at least for 4 minutes before they decide to move on to something else and say, I'm tired of this guy. So in a nutshell, I think that you should at least consider employing the Berr Gordy method of production, which was 8 bars or 10 seconds. I think if you can catch the listener within the first 8 bars or the first 10 seconds, like his methodology was, right, then I think that you have a great chance of more people listening to your music. So again, take it for what it's worth. I know there are going to always be variations, and mainly what I'm talking about is I'm talking about most popular music that is out today. And especially if you are an unknown or an amateur or an independent artist, then I think you really need to try to employ a technique like that. Okay, so all I got for you today, and I will see you guys next time, and have a great day. Bye.